What's going on, workforce? Bryan here, and we've got a bit of a up and down kind of news discussion here regarding obviously Final Fantasy XIV versus the World of Warcraft, the ever, eternal battle between two MMO titans. Who is actually number one? And it might actually surprise you, and it doesn't sound like it's World of Warcraft anymore. This video is going to be speculation, but I do have it on interesting authority, we'll say that, from just some things I've heard. I wish I could quote and I wish I could share. So we're going to keep this as a let's discuss. This is not a news post, but this is coming off of, I guess, unfortunate news for Blizzard Activision when it talks about laying off employees, especially after they've literally just given the CFO a $15 million bonus. And by the way, everybody else, go find another job. Like that, doesn't ever sit well. Like, I have no problem with the CFO getting a bonus. I have no problem with that in theory. I'm like, dude, like, congrats, way to, I guess, work hard or sell yourself or whatever that world looks like. No one's ever handed me any kind of amount of money that looks anywhere close to that. I don't even know how to process it. But beyond that, that is just a gut punch now that obviously here that this coming Tuesday apparently is supposed to be announced that they're going to be doing a round of layoffs, obviously, to cut corners. Now, how does this relate to Final Fantasy XIV? And how does this relate to World of Warcraft? That's what I want to discuss with you guys today, because I think it's really interesting. Just last month, in last month's State of the Game, I kind of talked about the death of the king. And this is just saying, like, is Shadowbringers the expansion? Is this the time in the history of MMOs where we see a changing of the number one subscription-based MMO? So there's a couple of things that we need to point on. And as well, we also probably need to touch on why Final Fantasy XIV is dying. I know a lot of people don't understand that love letter to Final Fantasy and the series as well, but that's okay. I don't know if we're going to be talking about it much in this video. It's something that I've been working on as a follow-up, especially after Blue Mage, but regardless, we'll come back to it. So in last month's State of the Game, we were looking at, obviously, that there is a huge decline in BFA. A lot of people are really disappointed in it. This is not to say that they can't turn it around, but first impressions do go a long way. A lot of people might just be holding off to the next expansion. These games will never truly go away, unless for something happens and they really decide to shut down the servers. But then you'll see fan sites, and I mean, heck, you got private servers for Final Fantasy XI, right? So ESO is still running. MMOs are this interesting thing, and I think what we're also seeing in regards to MMOs and where they belong in this new kind of gaming culture as games develop, as Battle Royale develops, as free-to-play, and all these different kind of models and all these different kind of games are competing for our just time. We're seeing obviously the shift and the evolution of the MMO into more maybe an MMO light. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. Part of the story that's lost, based off of, we don't really know the details publicly yet, but revenue is down, and it's down dramatically. We've seen a very big, steep decline in World of Warcraft. And again, we don't also know 14 subscription numbers. However, 14 is coming off and going into Shadowbringers, which is going to, at least if nothing else, for the duration of the first patch, going to bring a huge wave of returning players from Stormblood, new players with this new Twitch promotion, which is insanely smart. If you guys have not heard, up through May 3rd, if you have Twitch Prime, you get Final Fantasy XIV base game free, 30-day sub. Go and do it. If you're for some reason thinking about it, if you're watching this and you're a World of Warcraft fan and you're not happy with it, go check it out. I really highly suspect that this or next week we're going to see an interesting number published by Square Enix. We're going to see a huge jump from the 14 million to some new number. Now, it might not be in the next 2 weeks. It literally could be sometime before Shadowbringers, but they randomly put these out, and we've seen it grow to 14 million the last time they published it sometime last year. So expect that this coming week. With the decline in revenue, I don't know if we'll see this reported publicly because both companies do not report their subscription numbers. However, with the interest, if you go look at trending, especially in English-speaking countries, Final Fantasy XIV has been dominant. WoW still dominates in non-English speaking regions, and so there'll be always a presence and always this base. But I speculated, and as a part of the State of the Game, when looking at it, I was thinking that Shadowbringers could easily be kind of the tide in which that the largest subscription-based MMO is handed off from WoW to Final Fantasy 14. And really the point of the video is that it really doesn't matter if 14 is the biggest MMO in the world. It's really a matter of what you enjoy playing with your friends. And that was kind of one of the points of the video. I know it's like, anyway, some people, it's always interesting to see, I guess, like how my points and my thoughts come across. And it's something I'm always trying to work on to make sure that I speak clearly, respectfully, because I have no ill will towards World of Warcraft. Being top rating MMO for 15 years in a subscription model that gamers fundamentally rejected, which led to the introduction of loot boxes and MTX, microtransactions, and the free-to-play model becoming more prevalent, it's truly staggering to see how long it's maintained on top. And then 14 obviously coming from its downward I guess, spiral, being reborn. And he's excited. Being reborn completely, and now essentially, probably, again, speculation, and I want to know your thoughts. 14 literally could be the biggest subscription-based MMO right now. We don't know hard numbers, but what we're hearing is really quite interesting. And it's, again, unfortunate for the people who are about to lose their jobs. Unfortunate based off of the fact that paying out bonuses to get a guy, maybe he can come in and right the ship. World of Warcraft, I hear the team, they run a tight ship. Are they profitable? Absolutely, because they run a tight ship. They run a smart business. If they were not running a smart business, there's no way they could do what they can do. So it's going to be interesting to see what, if anything, this impacts. If anything, that we're going to see a shift in any kind of model. Like, as much as I love the subscription model, as much as I say, like, man, I wish these other games would add it. I'm definitely the minority, primarily because it is such a kind of a hurdle for a lot of people. You see, when you're competing against a free to start game, I don't like the term free to play, but when you're competing against free to start versus, hey, you need to buy this and there's a subscription to maintain your enjoyment of it, it's easy. It's kind of, human beings are like lightning. We're going to, especially when it comes to MMOs, we're going to find the least path of resistance. Electricity is going to find the shortest path to its destination, and we are the same way. That's why you see, people try to do exploits in these kind of games. But that's another topic for another day. This is interesting because this is what I've been seeing. This is what I guess the mood is when you start to see, and again, so many people coming from being disappointed by BFA into Final Fantasy. This is not to say that I don't have, again, like a love for World of Warcraft. It's not my kind of game. However, I mean, to confess and to be completely transparent, there is a fanboy part of me right now, especially coming from Final Fantasy XI, where, I tried to get Chris to play Final Fantasy XI with me, and that was a losing battle. I tried to get my brother to play Final Fantasy XI with me. That was a losing battle. And it was truly just this masterpiece of a game, and it still is. And in fact, I think the greatest sin that I would say that Square Enix has done is they have not really remastered that game. They haven't given it the love they need, and nothing is more apparent when you see that you have you have modders making HD versions of the zones, and it just looks so much better. And with 2 to 3 weeks of effort per zone, that you would think that with that Square Enix could do the same without officially making the option. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. So to confess, like, again, the fanboy in me is really conflicted because there is something about, I guess, my team, the Final Fantasy team, being a part of 1.0 and the failure and the rebirth and being somebody who really loves this game. And again, you're like, Bryan, didn't you say Final Fantasy 14 is dying? I did. I have major concerns. That's a huge critique. Again, we're going to address that in this own video because I think it's that important to talk about specifically because, yeah, I would still say that today. Now, we have different definitions of dying, and that's where that video, I think, will hopefully help either clarify or at least continue the conversation around it. And that's why I would hopefully like to think that this is not an echo chamber. It's a room for discussion, whether you're pro WoW, anti 14, or pro 14, anti WoW, or you're just here because you like, my ginger beard. I don't know. I wish I could quote what I've heard, but I can't because we're not there yet. I think that's a part of what is being missed in the story with obviously the layoffs. Again, it's unfortunate. What would be really great is, hey, 14, overtook it. And yeah, and what Blizzard's doing is they're hiring more people so that they can, really start to have like a real interesting clash of the Titans. Because one of the things that we see a lot of is that while there are people who just play one of these games, a lot of people play both or more. And when you look at how Yoshi P has designed Final Fantasy, he's done it in such an ingenious way that allows you to take breaks and come back. As a player coming from 11, as a player who's looking to kind of set up roots and find a lot of enjoyment out of it, after a period of time when you've played so long, there is obviously a hard cap on this, and we're going to discuss it in another upcoming video here, probably in the next couple of weeks. If we were able to get some hard numbers, if we were able to get some interesting facts about World of Warcraft, about this coming news apparently on Tuesday, and about the industry as a whole. Truly interesting. Like, I would love to sit here and tell you guys for a fact Final Fantasy XIV is the biggest MMO in the world. However, I can't do that. It feels like it. It felt like it was something that's happening as of January, as they build into the Shadowbringers hype. But what we might see right now, and what people are seeing, is obviously returning to prepare for Shadowbringers, to prepare for that. So we do see that kind of gap for people who are who maybe took a break after Stormblood, want to get caught up in the story, get ready to kick it off with Shadowbringers coming July 2nd. Again, check out if you have Amazon Prime, check out the free version of this game up through May 3rd. You have that opportunity to get in the base information, have a 30-day free subscription. If you're not interested in using that, or you don't have Twitch Prime and you're interested in Final Fantasy XIV, check out the free trial of this game. It is free. You can play any of the starting classes up to level 35, and there's no subscription, and then essentially you can just upgrade your account, or something like that. So they're thrilled. The kids are thrilled. Oh my gosh, like there's so much to discuss here. There's so many, what does this mean for the industry? What does this mean for subscription-based MMOs? What does this mean for Final Fantasy? What does this mean for World of Warcraft? What does this mean for MMOs in general? Because World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XIV are the only two subscription-based MMOs standing. World of Warcraft having a modified model with, obviously you can play gold within the whole Blizzard economy, and 14 just maintaining the one and only way to pay, which is subscription. Or the Krista kind of, anyway, the cash for time. I'd love to know your thoughts on this, on anything that we discussed in this video. Sound off in the comments below. If you like this, smash that like button. If you didn't, smash that like button. I doubt you'll do that. Guys, for Work to Game, my name is Bryan. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Lots of things coming up in the next couple of weeks. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to talking to you guys about video games. Apparently I have a hard time saying that phrase. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Take care and have a great day. Hey, it's me. It's been a while since I talked to you guys directly this way, but don't tell anybody. We've got even more epic content planned for this channel. The response has been incredible. We hope to see you. If you're new, hit subscribe, leave us a comment. I'd like to talk to you more about video games. I can't seem to speak my language. All right.